Let's get it. Hey folks, welcome to this week's episode of TC Realty's Nonsense Podcast. I'm your host, Tom Chamberlain, along with my co-host, Kevin Hoback. Kevin, how you doing today?
Doing good. I'm looking forward to our live feed we got going.
Yeah, this will be our
experiment.
Yeah, this is our first one where we're actually recording, and we'll be uploading to the YouTube channel. Now, typically, in between our segments, we talk about things that are not on the air.
Right.
So we'll still have to be a little careful on that.
We always ask, are the mics on?
Right. Because I've seen too many people get busted by hot mics.
In their careers?
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're not trying to do that here.
Nope.
Okay, so this week on the real estate portion, I want to talk a little bit about what to expect if you're a buyer and you're coming into the current market. Because, the market changes daily, weekly, monthly, every quarter. It's always different.
Of course.
So, and I'm just going off some of what my agents right now are dealing with. These houses, our inventory's so low. So I pulled some numbers from Bullitt County's MLS and the entire MLS. In April of 2022, there was 120 homes listed in Bullitt County. April of 2023, there was 96 homes listed.
Okay.
That's a 20% drop from last year. So it's a very competitive market. So when these buyers are coming into the market, I don't think they always understand that if the house is right for you, you don't have a lot of time to think about it.
No.
Have you ran across that?
Yeah, so on one of my listings, we've had people look at it, and they're very interested. And a lot of times they'll say, well, we want to take the weekend.
Right.
And look, you should always take the amount of time that you need to make yourself comfortable.
Yeah, I don't want any of my clients, if I'm representing the buyer, to jump in and rush into anything.
Of course not.
But I have seen it where I've showed them a house, and they're like, let us think about it. No problem. Take all the time you want because this is a very big investment for you. And they call me back in 12 hours. Okay, we're ready to put an offer in. Well, guess what? It's under contract.
It's already gone.
So after that happens 3 or 4 or 5 times, it gets frustrating to a first-time home buyer.
Right.
Because they're like, man, I even meant to buy a home. And, getting beat out on, different. Megan, for instance, one of my agents, Megan, I showed a house for her Saturday evening. They were taking offers till Sunday evening, Mother's Day night. They submitted an offer right off the bat. There was a cash offer. Now, it was a low cash offer, but they got beat right off the bat. And then they were I think they were a little disappointed they got beat. But if you're coming in with an offer when we're this short on inventory, you got to come in all of it.
Right, because I had the same kind of thing happen on a house I showed. They were taking offers till Sunday. We may have showed the same house.
Is it in Mount Washington?
No, this is in Shepherdsville.
Oh.
And I hadn't seen that in about a year.
Right.
Where they're doing we're holding offers until such and such time. So I did what you did. I checked the inventory. It was starting to get low.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when that starts to happen. But I thought we were getting away from that because it's a frustrating way to deal, especially if you're a buyer.
Oh, 100%, especially if you're a first-time buyer.
Right. You're not expecting that.
I've had clients just say, you know what, I'm just going to wait 6 months or a year to look again because they got beat out in 3 or 4 of them. Mm-hmm. Or, before they got to put their offer in, it was already under contract.
Right.
Here's some more numbers. So this is the entire Louisville MLS, which covers all surrounding counties and covers a lot part of Kentucky. In April of 2022, there was 1,947 homes listed. In 2023, there was 1,534. So that's a 21% drop, which 20% is a lot.
That is a lot.
From year to year or 1 month.
And that starts to change the market when it does that. When you get a drop that way.
Yeah, it's a very good advantage for sellers. And I think the next episode I'm gonna talk a little bit about what to expect if you're gonna list your house right now in this market, to kind of piggyback off this. So if you were representing a buyer, Kevin, what would be your recommendation or your guidance to them in this current market we're having right now?
Well, a lot of that would depend on their situation, and if they had, if they had a house that met, like we talked about on a previous podcast, if it hits all your wants,
Right.
maybe it touches some of your needs, and it's financially right for them. I always say, it's not my money that I'm spending.
Right.
So I be real careful. I always try to be real careful how I word it. But I'm like, if you feel it, if you know this is it, don't sit on it for days. Because when you come back to it, there are people out there that will walk in and make an offer on the front porch.
I've seen them make an offer without seeing the house.
Right.
Just off the pictures, and they say, you're going to know majority of the time, not all the time, majority of the time, if you like the house just by looking at the pictures.
So it's funny you say that, because when we're done here, I got to scoot to Bardstown and show that house.
Right.
I've never seen somebody so excited about a house they haven't seen.
That's awesome.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. And they're like, I just think this is it. And it may not be.
Right.
Who knows? But it goes along with what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, everybody keeps saying, we just went to the Glar Day at the Races, which is a day that all the realtors get together and go to the track for the day.
Right.
And I talked to several agents and brokers while I was there, and they're like, are the interest rates hurting you? I'm like, I haven't seen an effect on the interest rates. I mean, we have 26 under contract right now.
Right.
As a brokerage. So I've really not even heard the first peep from a client saying interest rates.
Right.
Have you?
No, not as much.
Not as much as I thought we would be here.
No, I haven't. On the house that I was listing, there, I had a few discussions of people saying, "Wait, I want to wait and see what the from other agents."
Yeah.
Their people looked at it.
Yeah.
And even they would say, we know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, the rates are not going down.
No.
These are here to stay for a couple years.
Right.
So unless you have the patience and the willpower to wait a couple years.
And go do the 4-letter word and rent.
Yeah, and rent, the 100% interest rate.
Right.
But, I just think if you're coming into the market right now looking to buy, the advice I would give you is have some patience.
Mm-hmm.
Trust your agent. Trust their knowledge of the market. That's important.
I don't know if you're a first time, because I think I get buyer's remorse sometimes no matter what I buy. So you're going to have that feeling of, is this the right thing to do? Mm-hmm. You're going to have that no matter what. Mm-hmm. And that's just something that you have to try to navigate with your spouse, your family, whoever it is that you're dealing with, because you're going to have that feeling. And it's hard to pull the trigger. It
is. So, I'll give you a perfect example. I just closed on a house and I had both sides on it this past Thursday. First time home buyer. I had the listing. It was a mom getting ready to go into a nursing home, and the kids wanted to be able to pay a private care for her to get her some better care. So they were going to list a house. It's been a family house for 56 years. Every child grew up in that house.
Right.
So it was a lot of emotions for them. So after navigating through all that, I had this young couple call me and say, hey, my mom lives around the corner. I've always loved this house. I grew up in this neighborhood. I'd like to see it. We walked in the front door, and they were like, this is it.
Right, this is the one for me?
This is it.
Right.
And I'm like, whoa, slow down. Let's look at the rest of the house. They were already qualified. So I was like, let's go through the house, see what you think about everything. What don't you like, what you like, and when you're representing both sides, it's a very thin line there.
Right.
It's tough. So we went through it all, and they were like, this is it. I said, do you want to go home and think about it? No, we know this is it.
And there's people that will do that.
And they did, and they pulled the trigger, and we closed last Thursday. And they were so happy, and that's the people I love helping, because here they closed at the office. I mean, they were crying, happy tears.
Sure.
The seller was here crying sad tears because
they're losing their home.
They're losing their home.
You probably started crying.
I did not, but I felt bad for both sides. I felt bad because I knew that, he grew up there.
Right.
And he was the oldest.
Sure.
And then I also felt happy for the buyers because they're starting, and the buyers told the seller, they said, look, you all made so many lifelong family memories there. It's our turn to make those memories.
Sure.
And I think that made him feel really good.
And that's part of the business. That's why closing, it's not just the money aspect of it. It is, you see people, everybody's happy.
Yeah.
And it's always great.
It is. So just remember, folks, jump in the market right now. Find you an agent that you feel comfortable with, that you can mesh with. Trust them in their knowledge. And don't be afraid to pull the trigger if it's the right house for you.
For sure.
Because if you wait, that house may be gone and you may have to settle for something you really didn't want.
And you never want that. That's the worst feeling. When you see a client kind of like,
I guess I'll buy it. But
right, you're like, well, this is going to end badly.
Yeah. You get a long road.
You can tell, your agent can tell, have seen enough showings, done enough to know within 5 minutes where this is going.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all I wanted to really get into was just to, what to expect if you're a buyer getting ready to hit this market.
Can I ask a question before we get out of here?
Yeah.
Do you have bar graphs over there?
I have bar graphs,
and sticky notes?
I do, yeah. The one thing that I always try to teach my agents that they most of the time don't do is become prepared.
Right.
So, I'm prepared. I have bar graphs. I have all kinds of stuff, man, going on over here. There's
a lot of statistics that you normally don't bring to the podcast with you. Normally you just sit down and you have like stuff written on an envelope.
My mind is so big that I can hold a lot of information.
It's got to be to fit in your head. Right. I understand.
Yeah. That's why I wear an extra large hat.
Yeah. It's just like I don't know who you are anymore. That looks so professional. All organized and neat.
Usually I have it all in my head, but it's just getting past Derby week, and I'm trying to dry out.
I got you. It's a good call.
I drank for like 7 days in a row, I think.
Me too.
Including Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm just trying to dry out and get my thoughts together.
All right, well, I'm happy for you.
Okay, good deal. Okay, well, we're going to get out of here, take our first break, and when we come back, we'll have some nonsense. Hey, welcome back to the nonsense portion of our podcast, and I know Kevin's trying not to laugh since I didn't say folks. But Kevin, so what do you got for us that's really stupid this week? Well, first of all,
okay,
people, you need to go check out the YouTube channel and see Kevin Holbach's Serena Williams golf visor.
I wore that just for you.
Yeah, it says Las Vegas. I think it's his wife's.
I got this in Las Vegas.
Imagine that.
Of all places.
Okay, so go ahead and go with your nonsense stuff.
This is the good one, though. Just so you know, the rest of them were dirty.
From what?
I don't really know.
They just get dirty?
They just got dirty. So, first of all, shout out to Megan for those of you looking on the video. We got some.
She surprised us with some Yeti. I think they're coffee cups, but Kevin's using it as a bourbon cup.
Oh, is that for coffee?
I think so. That's got the TC Realty Nonsense logo on it.
I will put coffee in it when I leave.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, we got a few things today that I wanted to touch on. I want to talk about your bingo, and I think I want to start with that because you just finished up bingo.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but coming up, I want to talk about Robert De Niro having a kid at 79.
Oh, boy, I seen that.
Yeah. We have a Facebook neighborhood beef in my subdivision.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sent to me anonymously by someone. His name rhymes with Stacy Clark.
Oh, okay.
So, but you don't want people to know exactly, exactly who it is.
And will I be able in this segment here throw one at you?
Yeah, I'd like that. I got a lot, but I can kick some of these over too, because I know.
So start out wherever you want to.
Well, let's. I know that you just finished retiring from bingo.
Yeah, I'm retired now.
And I want you to talk a little bit about your last time there.
So I do some fill in for the American Legion Post 157 here in Shepherdsville. And I call bingo for them on Mondays when they're short people. And I used to not mind it. I used to enjoy it going there and calling bingo. But lately, all these old women have gotten so mean. I mean, like, mean. Like, I know my grandma used to play bingo, and I don't remember her being that mean, but maybe she was.
See, I got a totally different remembrance of going with my grandma.
Well, I remember grandma getting mad at me a lot. messing up her little. They didn't have daubers back then. They had the magnets.
That's what I was getting ready to talk about.
Yeah, I'd move the magnets around. She'd get heated.
Well, me and my cousin used to play a game. We take that wand and see how close we can get to the magnets, without, and like try to pop one off.
Right.
But what we forgot is they would all touch, and then they would just all pull off.
Yeah. So she was messed up.
She would take the wand and smack us on the wrist with it.
That hurts.
Oh, over and over. But my grandma was, I adored my grandma, but was the worst when it bingo.
Yeah. So last
Like
night,
she was focused.
last night I think I declared my retirement at bingo last night. These ladies, boy, I tell you what, if you call too fast, they're yelling at you, and I mean yelling at you. If you call too slow, they're yelling at you.
So why don't you have like a shot clock
I do.
for like bingo?
No,
But-
I do. It's on my screen. It says 26 seconds in between each.
So when they see it counting down,
They don't see it. Only I can see it.
So why don't you put it like on the screen
It's
behind
not the way
you,
it's
like
not-
a college basketball
That's
shot
not
clock?
the way it's designed.
That way everybody knows when the next number's
That's
coming.
not way. It's not the way it works.
But you gotta make
I'm a
changes.
volunteer, and this is all I'm doing. So just so you know, it's a great program. It raises money, and we give back to our local Bullitt County vets. Nothing better in this world for that.
I get that,
But if they call too slow, they're saying you're calling too fast. Well, I'm looking at the number. It says 26 seconds in between them. When it hits 0, I call the next number. And then they'll say, well, you're calling too slow or you're calling too fast. And last night, it was a packed house. And they were so loud, nobody could hear anything. So I asked them nicely, hey, folks, can you all quieten down so everybody can play and enjoy their time? They wouldn't listen. So I started yelling. I got on that microphone, I started screaming, hey, quiet down. If I don't hear your bingo, if you bingo, I'm just going to split with somebody else. That really got them fired up.
yeah, you don't mess with their money.
No. So, and you met Rob Sunday. Mm-hmm. So he was up there, and we drank 6 Vegas bombs before I started.
Oh, so you were already ready to go.
Already ready to go.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than a buzz bingo caller.
And I'm thinking we're going to go out in the parking lot, and everybody's going to want to scrap with me afterwards.
So when you call a number, why don't you just comb the room and kind of tell when everybody's done?
I do, but I go off the timer. That's what the state requires you to do.
Their state.
Yeah, it's gambling. It's gaming.
What? Oh yeah, no, we know
Right.
it's not right. But it's state regulated. Like you got to have a shot
yes,
clock.
Yes.
Well, okay.
Yeah, on my computer screen, it tells me how many seconds between each call.
So-
Even though I'm doing it per what they want, the ladies in the crowd are like, "Hey, too fast, too slow."
Did you call anybody a name,
Um,
like out loud? Like,
I don't think so. I mean, there might be video, but I mean, I don't think I did.
okay.
But I'm just saying, these women are very angry people.
no,
They may be
bingo's-
they may be sweet old grannies at home, and the sweetest people in the world. But when you put a bingo card in front of them, it's like it flips a switch.
Do you ever watch Impractical Jokers?
Not so much.
Well, probably one of the best skits they did is they make Sal, and most people watch it. They make him call bingo
Oh wow.
when he doesn't have bingo.
Oh well, there was a lady there last night. She was a young person, and she called 3 different games. She said bingo and didn't have it any of the time. So that really sent them off.
Do you know all the things like the double floating
Oh,
postage square
absolutely.
with the
Lollipop.
with the triangle? There's a lollipop.
Lollipop.
What's a lollipop?
It's a postage stamp in a corner and then a line off of it diagonal.
So it's a slanted lollipop.
Yes.
And then you got the 4 corners,
4 corners. You get
cover all, straight bingo.
got small diamond, big diamond.
There's a small diamond and a big diamond. I
Yeah.
haven't been in like 25
Oh,
years.
dude.
So do you check the card?
So I hit a verify button and they read off a serial number. So I type the serial number in. It tells me if it's a good bingo or not.
Really?
Yeah, it's high tech.
So you don't have to stand there and like actually look at it. You
No.
just put in a number and
They-
then it like gives you a big X. If you don't,
It don't give me a big X.
Like a-
it just tells me if it's a good bingo or not a good
do
bingo.
you say go sit down?
No, I tell them it's not a good bingo. Check your card.
And then what?
And then I continue on calling
You
numbers.
start the shot clock again?
Shots star clock again.
Is there a timeout? Can somebody call like a timeout?
No, there's no timeouts, nothing like that.
Oh.
But I'm gonna tell you, if you want some entertainment, boy.
We need to just go one night.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go as a participant.
Do you do the daubers or the magnets?
Oh, it's all daubers. Nobody,
all daubers.
Nobody's used
No
magnets
chips,
since the 80s.
No magnets.
That was the 80s.
Okay.
I mean, you could even buy daubers there, and you see these ladies. They're 80 years old and they're playing like 600 cards. I'm thinking, how in the world are you
Yeah, that's
knowing?
what my grandma would play a table this size.
Yeah, yeah.
And she'd stand up and two-hand the daubers once
Dang.
they started. Oh yeah. Put that on.
That's where you learned the two-handed method, wasn't it?
That's where you get it from.
Right,
It's instilled.
right. So yeah, my bingo days are over. I'm officially retired. I have advised them to train somebody else for a fill-in.
It's a good call.
I'm tired of getting yelled at.
That's a good job for Kelsey.
Oh boy, she has not got the patience for that.
But you should make like every agent go call one.
Man, she would lose her mind on
Right.
that one.
So I'd like to see that.
She's pretty high-strung as it is.
Okay. So I got a Facebook post for you.
Okay.
We've already worn out your parking lot situation.
Oh,
So,
okay. So, are you talking about the bear nose?
yeah.
Okay, that's what I was going to throw
Yeah.
at you.
So, that same one you
Yeah.
had for me?
Mhm.
Yeah. So, I didn't know if you saw that or not.
Oh boy, did I! And I was reading all the comments.
That's what I was getting ready to say. So, if you go back through and read all the comments, I wrote a couple of them down.
Mhm.
It was 100% support of the people of
Bear Nose.
Bernos.
Yeah.
Bear Nose, from the people
I didn't
at
get the
Bear
same
Nose.
love,
And some of them were businesses shouldn't be blocked.
right?
Start towing people and they won't come back.
Well, the person that says start towing people, they won't come back, is the same one that was bashing me in my parking lot. Same person.
Right. It's your
So
bu-
they're like, I don't know which way to go.
It's your business. Do what you want.
Mhm.
And one lady said, it's a shame you have to deal with the complete disrespect of your own property.
Yes.
Now, it's a business, just like here,
Mhm.
but yet it's two different scenarios. I was hoping you didn't see that.
Oh no, I did, boy. Somebody sent it to me. I forgot who it was. Oh, my sister, Amy, sent it to me,
Oh, okay.
and she said, "I hope they get bashed like you did."
No.
they did not. It was all in
Oh,
support,
No, I thought that,
and it has to still do with the school kids.
right.
But it was all love for Bear Nose.
But I
I
think,
did see the one guy say, "Well, it's the only time I know you're open is when I see all the cars in the parking lot."
right, right. So, but these people did everything but go up there and buy a pizza
And they probably did that too.
in support.
Mhm.
And so I saw that and I was like, that's fantastic.
That is 100% social media. The same people that were bashing me was supporting them on the same exact issue.
Right. Well, that's why, I mean, the other 80% of the people don't get on social media and
Right.
say anything.
Right.
You've got 20% of the people sitting at home with nothing to do, and that's how that comes to be.
Oh, I thought it was funny. That was exactly what I was going to bring to you.
Yeah, yeah. So, no, I caught that yesterday when I get on all those sites a couple of days before.
Yeah. See, I get off all those sites now just because I get mad.
Well, I can, like, Shay does that. She reads them and goes, I want to comment. And I'm like, it don't affect you.
Right.
Just read it in entertainment and just let it be.
Mhm.
So, but when I'm preparing for all this stuff, I go through
All of them.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And try to pick out the,
The good ones.
yeah, and I got a couple of the good
Okay.
ones.
Let's keep rolling.
Okay, so I want to address this neighborhood issue.
Okay. And that's in,
Our subdivision.
yeah, the Section 8
It
area.
just came up, in the Section 8 area.
Mhm.
It just come up yesterday.
Okay.
And I'll just leave it to you because I know the people involved. So the Facebook post, we have a cat on our street. And our neighbors try to keep this cat in the house. And they can't.
Okay.
It's literally impossible. It's the sweetest cat you've ever seen. I don't like cats.
It just likes outside.
It wants to be outside.
Mhm.
It goes around and visits people.
Mhm.
I'm making it your decision easier by saying that. But this cat's really nice.
Mhm.
And this lady gets on Facebook and says, "I finally had it with this cat."
Now, is this lady on your street?
She lives in Central Park,
Okay.
so the cat went over there
Mhm.
and said, "I finally had it with this cat."
Mm-hmm.
My mom was walking my dog. The cat ran by, and the dog took off chasing the cat, and my mom got slammed into a tree trying to hold the dog.
Okay.
Now,
I mean, dogs do chase cats.
for this lady, I hope she's okay.
Mhm.
It lacerated her face, and they had to
Dang.
take her to the emergency room because
No kidding.
yeah, because it slammed her into a tree.
What
And
kind of
she's-
dog she got?
I don't know, but
Chihuahua?
She said I better not see that cat again.
Or what?
I don't know or what. There was really no or what.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's posting, prayers for your mom. Hope your mom's okay.
Sure.
Yada, yada. And finally, this one guy chimes in and goes, "I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Would you like us to round up all the wildlife in the park and everybody else so your dog don't chase anything else, maybe your dog's the problem. Did you ever think about that?
Do I know the person that made that comment?
No, you don't know
Okay.
these people. So I'm just wondering who you got, the dog or the cat. So you kind of get what I'm saying? The
Yeah,
dog chased
so-
the cat. Grandma
so-
tried to hold the dog and got slammed into a tree.
Okay, a few things here to dissect. Dogs do chase wildlife. Mm-hmm. So it's a very valid point the guy had. It's going to chase cats, going to chase deer, going to chase rabbits, whatever it sees it's going to chase. Mm-hmm. Should grandma maybe, and I'm glad grandma's going to be okay, but should she had a better hold on it, or should she not be walking it if she couldn't handle the dog?
That's the point somebody made. Why are you walking a dog you can't control?
Right. On the cat side, cats are cats.
Yeah.
I mean,
This cat goes around and visits everybody. I don't, like I said, it's, she gets in my garage sometimes, but she doesn't really bother anything.
right. But here's the thing, though. If it wasn't that cat, could it have been a stray cat that ran in front of it and the dog did the same thing?
We'll see if this skews it. There's rules in our guidelines that all animals must be contained on your property.
Well, they don't know because your HOA is junk.
Right.
Let's
You
just
need
face it.
you need to talk to our president,
Casey Clark, the president.
HOA
I
president.
mean, I've seen several HOA violations in your neighborhood.
Just driving through it.
Just driving through it. So, if you're going to enforce one, you got to enforce them all.
Right.
So the cat, I don't think the cat is violating the HOA policy.
No, and that cat is like, they ought to name it Houdini.
It just disappears.
Right.
Right.
So, but there's a huge Facebook war going on now on there. The comments, I think it got taken down because I tried to update it a minute ago about whose side you're on, either the cat or the dog. Because I guess Grandma got pretty hurt trying to
I
hold the
hate
dog.
that. I hate that anybody got hurt.
Yeah,
but
that's not funny.
no, not at all. But I'm just wondering if Grandma should have been walking the dog in the first place.
Like, I don't really let Macy take Athena out for a walk
No kidding.
for that reason.
Right.
She couldn't hold her if she had to.
Right. I need to know what kind of dog it is, really. If it's a Chihuahua,
It can't be a Chihuahua. You can't walk a Chihuahua.
no, you can. Is it dog like Siva? It ran her and chased it?
I don't think you could walk. That's too. Can you put a dog like that on a leash?
Absolutely.
You put Steve on a leash?
I have. He hates it.
Because
He's a freewheeling kind of dog.
he's also 4 inches tall.
Right. Weighs 3 pounds.
Right. So you don't have to put them.
I think I'm kind of on the cat side on this one, man. Let the cat be.
Well, once this guy made the comment, his comment got like 9 likes.
Yeah.
It's just people not wanting to say anything.
Right.
But just
Yeah, I'm kind of on the cat side.
it could have been a squirrel.
It could have been. There's a lot of squirrels over there, a lot of rabbits.
Right.
There's deer in that back part of it.
When somebody said it could have been a squirrel, her response was, "What wasn't?"
No, she's right. It wasn't.
But we can't.
But how does she know it was that cat?
She took a picture of it. She saw it again and took a picture of it and said, and we knew who that cat was. It was in the comments.
What did your neighbor say about it?
She didn't.
Did?
Yeah, she didn't comment on it.
Mm.
So usually people tag her in it because early on the cat would get out and people would start posting pictures of it. And then, like, this cat's out and she would comment, "It's fine, we got a collar on her, no need to worry about it."
Right.
So, but it become an issue because somebody
here's
got
the
hurt.
thing. Animals are animals. They're meant to roam. They're meant to get out. it happens. If the cat would rather be outside, I don't see a problem in it.
Most cats go out at night. I told you about my buddy Will. He lets his cat out at night.
Yeah.
And it'll bring back like
Yeah, it just hunts all night.
It'll bring back like a deer carcass.
Right.
Leave it on his front porch.
So what was the overall consensus of this post? Who was it pro dog or pro
See,
cat?
I think the people more were, they would just say, hope your mom's okay.
And that's true. I do hope that she's okay.
Well, yeah, of course. And they're kind of staying out of it. When that guy put that post up, I'm just going to come out and say it. Everybody was liking that one. So, but
Which probably upset the lady that made the post.
yeah. And then there's people that just hate cats, and they're like,
I'm not a cat fan
no, I don't,
whatsoever.
I can't stand them. They
No,
creep me out.
They do. They're the devil of the animals.
No, I agree with that. We talked about that before. They just stare
They're
at
sneaky.
you. Yeah, you turn around and they're there.
I think they're always thinking how can they kill you?
When Aubrey lived with us and those 2 cats were there, I think when I'd walk downstairs, that's what they were looking at
Yeah,
me, and
like-
it was, how can we take you out while you sleep?
Right, and then eat you.
Yes, I think that's very possible.
Well, I hope she's okay. Moral story is don't walk a dog you can't handle,
Right,
and cats just run.
and cats just don't take your dog out if you can't keep it under wraps.
Right.
We we think about Robert De Niro being a dad at 79.
Dude, I seen that, and that blew. I mean, I've got so many questions on that.
I
I'd
do
love
too.
to. I'd love to have him sitting here, and I want to know if he had it frozen.
No, he's getting it done at
I
79.
don't think he is,
Yeah,
man.
Robert De Niro?
I mean, he is a G.
Right.
I just don't. I mean, 79.
Who was the big one of the big musicians just had a kid. Hang on it. I'd have to somebody out there's saying it.
Mm-hmm.
One of the famous guitar people or somebody just had a kid in their 70s.
Man, 70 years old. But he's on the backside of 70s.
Yeah, he's almost 80.
Right. And how old's his wife?
Like 45.
Good for him.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that just blows my mind that he is having children. I mean, now you get to say, hey, growing up, yeah, my dad's Robert De Niro.
Right, but when you're 10, your dad's 90.
Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, I don't know, man.
there's that. But I mean, 79 getting it done.
I still think it's frozen. I just don't think he's.
You don't-
I don't think he's
why
up to.
would he freeze
he's
it?
not up to the task
Why would he
because
freeze
his wife
it?
wanted another child.
But when do you think he froze it?
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there.
You think it's been in the freezer for 15 years?
Did you help him freeze it?
No, but at what point would you go, you know what we need to do?
When she says, "Hey, I know you're getting old and you can't muster up the energy anymore, and
you know
I
what he
want a
would-
kid."
Do you know what he would say to that?
What?
I'm Robert effing De Niro.
He might.
I have the energy. Have you seen my movies?
Right.
Plus they got medicines and pills and injections and implants and all that stuff.
Implants. Where'd he go? Mexico and get all this done?
No, they have that kind of stuff.
Do
so
they?
you can still.
How do you know?
I mean, CNN
CNN tells you.
has all that. All that. They've got a medical dude on there talking about it all the time.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's common sense. I mean, he didn't just decide to freeze it
You don't know.
20 years ago.
I'd like to have more details on this.
Yeah.
And if he did muster up the energy, I'm glad he didn't break a hip trying.
But what details do you want?
Like if it's frozen or not.
That's just how the job got
How
done.
the job got done.
I got you.
mean, 80 years old. Because I know a lot of 80-year-olds, and I can't see them mustering the energy up.
Was it Mick Jagger?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Does that sound right, Kevin? Maybe it was Mick Jagger. One of them guys. One of the Aerosmith guys, I think. Just become a dad again. Or,
Nikki Sixx too.
yeah,
Motley Crue.
70s.
Golly, these guys. They're rock stars.
I mean, they've been getting the job done for 50 years.
Man,
So,
oh man.
Yeah, just don't stop. So, well, all right.
Did you vote today?
I did not. I did not.
So disappointing.
I know. Honestly, I forgot. So I got so busy with what I was doing, I forgot.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this next governor's race, the next 4 years.
I'll vote in the next governor's race.
No, in the primary, you can't say if your guy don't win, you can't complain because you didn't go do your civic duty. 2.0, did you vote?
No.
Oh my God. What is wrong with you all?
I just
It's
didn't
your
think-
right.
I just didn't think about it today.
They've had early voting for a week and a half.
Are you wearing your I voted sticker?
Absolutely, I am. I'm proud that I voted.
You voted at like 8 o'clock this morning,
I voted at 6:45.
and you've been wearing it all day.
I put it on there, and I
Just so
ain't
everybody
thought
knows.
about it since.
Do you know what the turnout's expected to be?
10%.
10%.
I know. That's sad.
And so
Because people like you that don't go vote
Well,
just watch 10%.
30% of this room showed up, so you did as well.
Right.
Right? 1/3 of this room showed up.
33.33%.
That's higher than the statistical
Yeah,
show
that's sad.
expectation.
That's
So,
sad. But everybody wants to complain, but nobody wants to go do anything
I
about it.
rarely complain about anything.
Oh, boy. That's such a lie.
Hardly
What's your
ever.
prediction?
I predict it will be Daniel Cameron versus Bashir.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
And then if Ryan Quarles end up getting it over Daniel Cameron, I really wouldn't be mad about that either.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Quarles or Cameron both do a good job.
Well, I mean, Cameron didn't come on the KSR debate.
That probably helped him,
It
not hurt him.
probably hurt him.
We had this text discussion about KSR, and now what are they into now? What are they discussing
What are you talking about?
in our text? I mean, do I need to go back and read the
Oh.
text?
No, we're not gonna bring that up.
Okay, so that's what
That was-
KSR is into now. No wonder Daniel Cameron didn't go
No,
on there.
no. What I text you wasn't. What he texted you is what about the chess. But everybody knows about the cheating chess player.
No, that's not what I'm referring to.
No, that one wasn't on KSR. That one I just texted you.
No, the one he said was on KSR.
Yes, that was the cheating chess player. The one I said.
Oh,
I found
that's right. How they're cheating when they're using electric. What was it?
Things.
What, electric what?
It just inserts.
Right.
We'll call them inserts.
Call them inserts.
Yeah,
And that's the
electric-
discussion that you all have on KSR, and you wonder why Daniel Cameron did not want to come on there and debate.
Well, can you get him on here? Well,
I'd
won't
have a
talk-
better chance getting him on here than KSR
I won't,
would.
I won't talk about that kind of stuff.
Right.
I'll keep it strictly, about politics.
Yeah, that would be. I have some connections. I may try to get a couple state reps or state senators to come on and talk.
Okay.
That'd be kind of cool.
Can we talk about if they cheat during chess?
Well, absolutely. We'll
Because
ask
I
them.
don't. I follow politics, but I'm not. The only thing I ever really cared about that much was the gambling bill.
Dan Syme Sr. was a state senator for years, a friend of mine. His son just got voted on the Louisville City Council, Metro Louisville City Council, and he was a big proponent for help passing the medical marijuana when he was in Senate. So I wouldn't mind getting Dan Syme Jr. on to talk about. I mean, they did so much research, man. They went to California, Colorado, on how much it was helping people. So, yeah, just some food for thought.
Yeah, no, that'd be going.
Okay, what else you got?
So did you see the outcome of the guys who were stuffing weights in their fish? Did you hear this story?
Yeah, I seen the story when it happened. Didn't they just plead guilty or something?
It just come out today.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up getting. So for those of you that don't know, these guys were winning all these fish tournaments by putting weights in the fish, and they got caught.
Which is a common practice in tournament fishing.
Well, I guess.
I mean, it is. I mean, I've seen
No,
it.
I'm not saying
I've
it's
not
not.
seen it. I've heard about it several times.
But now I guess you got to start running all the fish through metal detectors.
Well, if you win a tournament, you have to go through a lie detector. So they've been beating these lie
Lie
detectors.
detector. Anybody can beat a lie detector. I
Sounds
could beat a lie detector.
Sounds like you know from experience.
Get somebody on here to do a lie detector. I bet I can beat it.
Wow.
It's all in the mind.
It's all in the mind.
Right.
And your mind's what? So weak it can't keep thoughts together,
No,
so it
it-
won't catch you.
I confuse the lie detector. It's like, you know what? Inconclusive.
Oh, nice.
So, but
Have you had to use that before as a
li-
defense?
the lie detector or my mind?
Both.
Yes.
Okay.
So the men were stuffing weights in the fish.
Yep. A walleye tournament, and I think it was Wisconsin.
Yeah, but here's the problem. If you're going to do that, win one every now and then.
Oh, this dude won like $175,000
Don't
bass
win-
boat and
don't,
everything.
Don't win 9 consecutive fish tournaments and just be like, I'm the best.
Greedy.
Right. It's like when a guy gets caught robbing the 7th bank.
Mm-hmm.
Just stop at 4.
Right. If you got away with 4 of them, why would
quit.
you push your luck?
Right. Once you rob 4 banks, you're good.
You're good.
You don't
You're
need,
set for life.
You don't need to do any more.
Right.
But they continued on and got caught. So
What was their penalty? I haven't seen the penalty.
they had to give back the boat.
Okay. That was a nice boat.
It wasn't like $175,000.
Yeah.
Something like that.
For a bass boat.
I don't know how can a bass boat be $175,000.
Man, I tell you what, these prices on everything, man. My tri-tune was way more than I ever thought it was going to be.
Well, mine was too, and it's not as big as yours, but they
That happens a lot.
10 days in jail. Each of them got 10 days in jail.
I'm surprised they got any jail time, really. I mean,
It's fraud.
well, I guess you're right. Yeah,
So
good point.
They were basically tried and
Did they plead guilty or go to trial?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just saw that they got 10 days each.
I'm sure they
in
got
jail.
some fines too.
Oh yeah, I think it was maybe 100,000.
Probably paying
And the
back.
boat?
Probably paying back all the winnings that they'd won.
Right. But if you're gonna cheat in something, a fish tournament,
There's big money in those, man.
and it should have been animal cruelty charges.
That's another good point. Yeah.
So I mean, I guess catching them is
Do
one
they
thing.
do they consider a fish an animal though, or
Well, what else would you consider it?
I mean,
I mean, if I just stand on 44 and start chucking bass out into the yard, out into the street, banging them off people's windshield, that's frowned upon.
yes, it's frowned upon.
PETA would be out front marching.
PETA.
So I need to make that a topic. I forgot how much you like PETA.
Oh man, they're my favorites.
But-
I got a story about PETA, how I got a death threat.
But what else would fish be if it's not an animal?
I had to call the FBI.
A mammal?
No, it wouldn't be a mammal. It don't have hair.
Oh. So what do you call it?
Um,
It's an animal.
okay, I'm gonna go with that.
So it falls under the animal cruelty,
Sure.
I guess.
I don't know,
I don't either. That's out of my realm.
but yeah, I mean, 10 days.
Yeah, 10 days, give up your boat, and
They probably lost their fishing privileges for some time, I would guess.
oh, I'm sure. So, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think we gotta wrap up here, don't we?
Yeah, I think so. You got to go do a showing.
Yeah.
So, okay, guys. So, I guess we've had a lot of good nonsense for today. So, just to recap, Kevin's wearing his Serena Williams visor.
Yep.
It says Las Vegas.
You can see it on YouTube. You ain't even gotta imagine how good it looks.
It looks awful.
You can just go check it out.
It goes along great with that mop he's got on his head.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll catch you next week with more real estate information and more nonsense. We'll see you next week.
See ya.